Hi everyone, this is Sarah Fezio, and in today's video I'm going to show you how I did this really awesome galaxy painting. Now it is a little bit shiny, it hasn't been varnished yet, but I used lots of materials and it took lots of steps, so this video may be a little bit longer, but I think you'll get a really good idea of how I did a nebula. We'll call it a nebula or a galaxy. So stay tuned and I will show you what I did. All right, let's get started on our galaxy painting. Now, I thought about how I want to do this because I know some other people have galaxy paintings. Anne-Marie has done some, and Stephanie from Deliberately Creative and her husband Mark, they've both done them. I think Mark's done them. And they turned out fabulously. So I thought about doing one as well. And I thought, how would I do it? Because art is kind of like math. Everyone can do it a little bit differently. So I'm going to start with a white 12 by 12 inch gallery wrap canvas. But what I'm going to do, because I thought about using paint, and the more I thought about it, the more I did not want to use paint to get my canvas black, because acrylic sticks to acrylic and I'm going to be pouring over it, and as it dries, you know, it shrinks, and I was concerned it would craze. So instead I purchased some Liquitex Professional black gesso, and I've never used black. I've used clear and I've used white. So what I'm going to do is just apply the gesso to the canvas so that hopefully one coat will do it, so that my canvas is black to start out with. And since it's not just straight paint, it's basically gesso, like the white gesso that your canvases come prepared with, I'm hoping that when I pour on top of it, it won't cause my painting to craze. Okay, as you can see, my canvas is nice and dry. The gesso has dried more than actually 24 hours. I've been very busy at work. And now I'm ready to put the stars down. So what I'm going to use is some golden heavy body titanium white, because I don't need very much of it, just a little bit. You could use any white paint, but I chose this one because it has a high pigment, and I'm going to use a toothbrush, an old toothbrush that I'm just going to dip in some water, and I need to get my paint nice and runny and try not to make a mess out of this. And I'm using this, oops, that's too much paint. I don't want a whole blob falling off on there. But if I do, oh well, I'll just wipe it off. Okay, so you basically take your hand like this and flick. I'm pulling the brushes back towards me, and I'm going to put stars all over my canvas. Make sure you get the sides too if it's a gallery wrapped canvas. Oops. You can also wear a glove if you don't want it all over your hand. So I'm just doing this. I just have a little bit of water in there. I just put a little bit of paint, and I'm pulling it back towards me to get the stars. Now, if you get something like that you don't want, a toothpick works really well. But I need some on the sides because It's a gallery wrapped canvas. So I don't have a toothpick, but I've got a little stick that I can just use to kind of break that up some. I'll wipe it off. Set my toothbrush down. Grab a paper towel. My gesso's coming up. Interesting. I don't really want those big clusters like that, so I'm just going to wipe it off. It can be a little foggy because the next step, we're going to want some foggy white on there anyway, so you might want some bigger ones. Okay, so I'm going to have to let this dry. In between, and I'm just going to tilt it to make sure that this side is covered over here. So I didn't use very much paint, but I used the heavy body pigment because I wanted nice bright stars. Okay, so I like the way it looks. So you can either take a blow dryer, hair dryer, to dry your canvas, or you can let it air dry. Okay, my stars are dry, and as you can see, well, hopefully you can see, I have to have sunlight over here. It's kind of shiny, but or overexposed. My painting's dry. There's my stars. It's all over my canvas, and I like that. And this time I need a translucent or transparent, really transparent white. So I'm going to be using zinc white. And with my zinc white, I'm going to use a material. I don't need much of it. I'm just going to put a plop in there. Hopefully that cup will work. And then I'm going to use something called Acrylic Painting Medium. And this is by Matisse. So this is a Matisse product that I ordered online from Jerry's Artarama. Oh my gosh. And I did a painting with it. I don't even remember which painting. Now I have to try to get the lid off, because it seems to be stuck. Oh, user error, sorry. There's a little tab here. I can't do this with gloves very well. That's the problem. Okay, here we go. So not the whole thing comes off, just this little part on the top. Okay. And I need something to scoop some of that out. This will dry clear, and what this does, well, with Matisse paints, it works a lot better. So it has to do something with their formulation. But what it's going to do is just, with Matisse colors, it liquefies your heavy body paint. Doesn't quite do the same thing with other brands, but I don't have a zinc white in Matisse, because I have to buy Matisse paints online, and I already have one from another brand, so that's way too thick. I need something really runny in here. So once I break down the polymers with the Matisse medium, which is actually really too runny to be a pouring medium, because it flows like water. But see, if I just keep stirring, it's not as chunky as it would be if I'd put that much water in there. So I'm just going to add some more, because I actually need quite a bit of this. Well, I say quite a bit, but not like I'm pouring a painting. Okay. So I have thinned that zinc white down. Now this will be somewhat translucent. Although it's a little bottle, so it just has low tinting. Yeah, I want it transparent, almost. Okay, so my paint's not runny enough. Here's my water. It has some titanium white in it, but that's okay. I need it more fluid for what I'm going to do. You're also going to need a straw for this. So once I thinned it that way, I can add water. Okay, that's about the consistency that I'm looking for. Really runny. And it will not dry. It should not dry opaque, because the paint itself was not opaque, which is what I want. So the idea here is that we're going to use a straw, and we're going to blow the transparent white paint onto our canvas where we want the nebula colors to go. Because if I take a translucent blue or a transparent blue and put it on here, you're not really going to see it. So I need some white underneath to make sure you see the color. Okay. So the nebula I'm going to kind of go for is a lagoon nebula. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of this and just pour it on my canvas. And you're going to see my head in the shot, so sorry. Now I can kind of roll it around. There's still some chunks in there, but I want it in a circle, and it can go off the camera, so I thinned it out some. Now I'm going to take my straw. Now I'm just going to let that dry. Alright, so my canvas has dried. I'll show you that in just a second. And I'm just going to use a few colors. I'm going to use Southern Ocean Blue, which is a Matisse color. I'm going to use red oxide. I think red oxide instead of Van Dyke brown. An Indian yellow. And I really want a blue, so I have a little bit of Phthalo blue in this Liquitex container. So I'm just going to use a few colors. And what I'm going to do is put some color in each one of these and mix it up. Okay, I have my 4 colors mixed up. Now, what I've done is I've thinned them with the Matisse acrylic painting medium. And you can see the two Matisse colors mixed a lot better than the two other colors. For some reason, the Matisse product works better with the Matisse product, but I'm going to add a little bit of water. Okay, and I'm going to mix that in. The Matisse colors are nice and smooth for the most part. There's still some little pieces in there, but nothing like the other two. This one still has large chunks in it, which I would probably prefer not to be in there, but I think there's enough for it to work. Same with the yellow. So I'm going to set these to the side. And I just want you, I'm going to use my straw again, by the way. So here's the canvas. It's shinier or glossy where I put the zinc white. And I tested the green down here in a little spot. But it's been dry, it's dried for about 2 to 3 days, so. Okay, so in this little bottle here, I have the last of what's in here of Liquitex pouring medium, which I wanted to, I'm going to use this, and how much of this I have, because I'm painting over painted surfaces. I'm going to, hopefully some of this will come out. There's not much in it. There's a little bit coming out. That's some GAC 800 in there. Because I've already got paint on the canvas, I don't want it to stick to the rest of the paint and craze. I'm just going to mix this up. And I'm not going to add any water, maybe a little bit. Just a little bit. I'm going to mix it. This is just pouring medium, some GAC 800, and you might be asking why I'm using both. Well, I don't want my pouring medium to craze. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is coat my whole canvas. And remember, this dries very glossy, but look, I can see through it, which is what I wanted. I need more on here. And I'm still going to varnish this painting, so if it doesn't get all the way down the side, that's okay. So I just need enough on there to have a liquid that's not water. I could have also used the golden acrylic polymer, something a little bit thicker than the Matisse. That's what was in there. Okay, so that's good enough. It doesn't have to cover the whole thing because this, and it's very thin. so it won't be too thick on the canvas. Now I'm going to drop some of my pigment, just a little bit. We're going to start with the yellow. Okay, just before I basically shut my computer down, I came back, I looked at it, and I just felt there was too much paint. So what I did was I took some paper towels and I just dabbed around the edges. So like over here there was a lot more paint. I just kind of dabbed, and in the middle I just dabbed some of it off. So I put too much on the canvas, I think, and so I just kind of took it off, and I'll show you real quick just this one part. In fact, I'll probably do it right here. So I just kind of went like that and dabbed and took some of the paint off, like so. Okay, it's been about 24 hours and my painting is dry, but it's got all sorts of different glosses on it. But it's still shiny because of the pouring medium. And this is what I have. Now, I like it, but I don't like it 100%, if that makes sense. So I'm going to add a little bit of black. I really like this area over here. See how you can see the stars through it? Right here it's sheer. It just kind of tints it. And here you see a little bit of yellow. This is nice. I like pretty much all this area. But over here, I don't really like this. So I've mixed up a little bit of white and a little bit of black. And I'm going to not pour it because I don't want too much. I'm just going to use my stick to kind of put some on there like this in areas where I think I need to add black. And it's thinned down with water and then the Matisse painting medium. So it should dry maybe a little bit translucent. I just want to tone that down. I'm just going to kind of get a little bit of white paint on there, and I'm going to flick some more stars. Oops, those are big stars. Hey, that's okay. There's supposed to be stars in the middle of the nebula anyway. Look at that. So see, when you go and add the stars on top of it, it really pulls it all together. Of course, this is not the normal angle I paint at. This is a lot harder to do when I'm leaning over the canvas. Let me tell you that much. It doesn't even look like a star. I don't know if I can do this like this. It's a weird angle. I don't have anything to lean my hand on. That looks better. Oh, very odd angle to be painting at, honestly. And it doesn't look very good either, because I'll tell you what, when you're painting on top of pouring medium, you might have to do a few coats. It'll be all right. More stars. It really, really looks like a nebula. So this was a lot more work in terms of how long it takes, because you have to let it dry in between. But now that I've gone and added some more black to tone down certain areas, I like it a lot better. And I hope you guys enjoyed it too. This is a little bit different than just putting the paint on and swirling it around. We used Matisse acrylic painting medium, and I did use some pouring medium for the second layer. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Remember to leave your comments or questions below. Subscribe to see more videos. Share it with your friends. And I hope you guys have a great evening. Lots of love. Oh, and I'll be showing this at the beginning of the video, which I'm going to start doing. So if you're watching, I'm going to start showing the dry painting at the beginning of the video when I can. So anyhow, lots of love, guys. Hope you have a great evening. Bye.